Hey, today I'm going to be going over everything I got while I was in Hanover. I made 2 stops. I went to one of my favorites yesteryear. Now, big shout out to yesteryear. I just have to say, I always have such a great time going there. And the staff and the vendors are just like out of their way, impossibly nice. It's amazing. So I went on a Saturday, which is something I normally don't do. Big no-no for me because it's just so crowded. And I like to take up a lot of space and kind of sit on the floor and make myself comfortable and not be in people's way or feel like anxiety, honestly. But it was a really pleasant experience. I got a bunch of good stuff, so let's get to it. So the first thing I got when I was at yesteryear, now I got a pretty nice discount. The vendor usually runs 30%, but they were, I guess, what's the word? Gracious? That's not the word I'm looking for. Generous. Generous enough to give me 50% off. So I don't know what I would have normally paid for it, but it was originally $5 and I paid $2.50 for this incredible mermaid ornament. It seems to be handmade. I can't really find anything on it. I'm gonna do some digging. It definitely looks artist made. It's very cool. Normally I'd stay away from newer stuff, but I mean, this mermaid was just irresistible, as you can see, and super unique. We love unique, no matter how old or new it is. This next one I thought was really sweet. I try to stay away from things that are repaired or say as found on the tag, but for $3.50, I picked up this sweet little angel figurine. Now, the vendor said that her mother, I believe, was the one who put these sweet little pine cones here because its candle light is broken, but you can't really tell with that sweet little decor, and I couldn't resist its sweet face. And it's by Artmark Japan, which is a pretty good maker. These little angels can be kind of tricky to find. The ones with these expressions, with the eyelashes and such, singing, are definitely some of my more favorite ones. Some of them look kind of stern, so picked that up. Now, owls usually sell pretty well, so does Christmas. So, of course, I picked up these Christmas owl salt and pepper shakers. At first, I almost thought they were newer, but they are 1960s. They are marked made in Japan. They're in perfect condition. And like I said, I only paid $4.50 for them. I'd never seen them before, so I was pretty excited about that. I'm a big sucker for pearlized paint and lenticular eyes. Lenticular eyes especially. I just think they're so fun. I've seen this rocking chair bank in a few different versions. I recently had a deer, which is the one I'd never seen before. He was in perfect condition. Normally, the paint is kind of worn on these. That pearlized glaze is harder to stay on. I kind of feel like, I don't know what it is, something in the pigment. And his eyes are both there, and he's got the stopper. And did I already say what I paid for this? I paid $5. So I was really excited about this little donkey. I'm not the biggest glass person, but I know when I see a deal. And I could not resist this Amberina vase. It's made by Rainbow Glass. It says hand blown by Rainbow, Huntington, West Virginia. When I saw the price, I was like, wait, what? It was $15, but then 30% off. So it only came to $10.50. I mean, the color is one of my favorite combinations. Glass has been, especially this Amberina swung glass, and has just been like really hard to get recently. The prices have kind of skyrocketed. Now, this isn't like your run-of-the-mill Viking glass or one of the better known makers, but at $10.50, it will definitely sell easy. I love these little Polish dolls. I think they're so fun. Normally I see them in the miniature version and they're kind of worn out. This one with the braids, I couldn't resist, especially because her face is in really good condition. A lot of the times you find them cracked. In fact, there was another one there, but it had already began cracking, so I left it. Even though this doll was only $10.50. So no like obvious staining or anything like that, which is great. It's really hard to find these at a reseller's price without all the stains and cracks. Now, while I was at yesteryear, I saw these 2 elves. They kind of stumped me. They had been heavily modified. I did realize that they were the original ones that I was thinking by Lego Japan. And I went back and forth, and I regret leaving them a little bit. I was hesitant just because of the modifications. I mean, the price was right. They were $24 for the pair, and they were the larger size. However, when I was at Black Rose, I ended up finding this, which is the original Elf I was talking about. I paid up for it a little. I paid $19.80. But I could not resist. These are super hard to find, especially in such great condition. They are designed by Holt Howard, I believe, and produced by Lego. There's a lot of different versions. A lot of them are playing sports, and they have the smaller ones that are cooking and playing sports, and then they have the larger ones. This is a size I'd never really seen before, and in perfect condition for $20. I picked it up. I actually have one of these in a larger size on my dresser. I think these are one of the funnest things to find. Also, while I was at Black Rose, I picked up this little Josef's Original mouse. Now, I got really excited when I saw the price tag. It was $2.40. I completely failed to notice it was very repaired on the tail, so I'll probably just kind of break even on this one. But, you know, I'm kind of cautious about the subject I pick up in these Josef Originals because a lot of them are very common. But at $2.40, I was just like, oh, I'll throw it in my basket, whatever. And didn't mind the knitting. I thought that was pretty cute. But repaired tail, unfortunately, my mistake. Speaking of missing things, actually, I caught it while I was still in the store. This, I got at Black Rose for $7. I could not resist. It's by Rubens Japan. I am such a sucker for fuzzy ceramics and especially the little elves. He was in such great condition until I brought him up to the register in the holding booth and realized that the tip of his hand is actually broken off. But for $7, I might make $1 or $2 off this after fees, and if he doesn't sell, I'll just keep him. I just could not resist. And it's not one I'd seen before. The last thing I got while I was at Black Rose was this cute little doll. I just couldn't resist. She was only $5. I loved her facial expression and little outfit, and I feel like it's kind of hard to find these with the shoes. So for $5, I was like, whatever, that's a safe bet. I've kind of had a hard time with the little plastic dolls. I've been very careful about which ones I pick up, what makers and such. This one is marked on the back, but the stamp on her has kind of worn off. I believe the mark just says Hong Kong. I could be wrong, but for $5, I'll be able to double my money on her. So another one of my favorite vendors has a booth at Yesteryear. This I saw as soon as I walked in, and I just couldn't let it go. It doesn't have much resale value. I'll still be able to double my money since I only paid $6.40. Otherwise, it will just end up in a drawer. I actually have quite a few things that I've bought from this vendor and kept for myself. She used to have this huge booth at this antique mall near me where I would literally just spend the entire day. I mean, I worked there, and I would spend the entire day digging on the ground through her stuff because she has such neat taste, and it's so eclectic. And this little Frozen Pops kit, I could not resist. I couldn't resist the graphic. It was in perfect condition. I'd never really seen one like this before. I just thought it was so sweet. It's definitely like one of those weird keepsake drawer items for me, but I will give it a chance to find a different home first. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna break out the find of the day. So I saw this in the case. I was like, what? Especially when I saw the price. It was marked as $32.50, but it said chip on tail, right? So when I pulled it out, that tiny thing right there that you can't even know is there unless you were really, really looking and really one of those immaculate condition collectors, which I don't hate you. However, I rather pay a little less and find something with a little lovin', we'll call it. Imperfection, lovin', whatever. I've sold these before. I remember they went anywhere from $95 to $108. That's, of course, including my U.S. shipping and fees. Now, this one I ended up paying $27.65 for. And even though it's got that tiny smidge of damage, it's made by Norcrest, which is a really great maker. The Bluebirds in the Lefton and the Norcrest usually sell really, really quick. They're hard to find, and I was impressed that the flowers weren't chipped up. So for $27.65, I didn't think twice. I grabbed it. I was so excited. Definitely the find of the day. There's different versions of this bird on the branch. There's ones with just two, and then there's one with a nest. This one I've only had like once, I believe. So really excited about that. I had a great shopping trip, and my expectations were exceeded, even though it was a Saturday. Can't say I will be going back every Saturday, but I'm excited to go back after I get back from my trip and see what else is new. And thank you again to Yesteryear for always being so amazing and hospitable. See you guys tomorrow.